Hey, what's going on, everybody? Stacy over here at Make It a Blockbuster Night, and I am here today to answer the challenge of my friends over at the Rad Pack, Mel, Justin, and Garrett, with the Rad 9, the 9 movies that kind of made you, especially like when you were growing up, going over that kind of stuff. So the 9 movies that made you is what this challenge is. So we're going to get into this. Don't have any honorable mentions. I could have pulled some more stuff, but did want to keep it to the 9. And just, you're going to know this is going to be a lot of stuff. Like I said, I graduated high school in 92, so I'm a 80s and early 90s. As far mid to late 80s, early 90s is when my love and passion for movies really took in place. So you're definitely gonna see a theme of mostly some mid 80s, late 80s, early 90s stuff in here. So not necessarily my top 9 movies of all time, but like I said, these are the ones that kind of had on repeat and replay a lot. So, and these are going to be in no particular order. So we're going to get to this. And actually, the first one is my favorite movie of all time, actually. It's just sitting on top here. And that is from 1986. And probably the movie that I have seen the most in my lifetime. And that is none other than Top Gun. And I did pull all VHS for these. I didn't go through and grab other formats because most of these, the first time I did see these were on videotape, whether it was, some of these as we get into there's a couple of them from the early to mid 80s. I probably saw those on Betamax first. And most of these others, first time I saw them was either on the actual VHS tape itself or recorded off TV, because we used to do a lot of that back in the day. But like most of you know, this is my favorite movie of all time. So obviously this is going to be in there. Like I said, this I have so many different copies of this on so many different formats over the years. Still have quite a few different copies of it today as we speak. So Top Gun. All right, the next one I'm going to get into is from 1991. This did get a Kino release a couple years ago, I believe it's been now. But that is Frank Whaley and Jennifer Connelly in Career Opportunities. I remember this was a definite blind watch back in 91 when we rented this from the video store, but certainly became one of my favorites and certainly one that was on replay and repeat quite a bit. If you guys have not seen this, check this out. Like I said, it's got a Kino release now on Blu-ray, and it's fairly reasonable. So, great movie. Alrighty, the next one is from 1984, and that is Kevin Bacon, John Lithgow, Laurie Singer in Footloose. Another one, along with Top Gun, some of these soundtracks were some of my favorite soundtracks as well back in the day. I know I have my Top Gun cassette and CD on repeat constantly. And Footloose was another one, a staple of the 80s. This is probably one that I saw on Betamax first back in the day, but definitely had this picked up relatively quickly when I started collecting VHS back in the day. So Footloose, that was my third. We'll get into the fourth one here, and this is from 1988. Actually did see this one in the theater. Saw Top Gun in the theater. I don't think I saw Footloose in the theater, but this was the one I did definitely see in the theater in 88, and that is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This was a pretty mind-blowing movie for the time, seeing all these animated characters in a live-action movie as well, but all these animated characters from all these different franchises with all these different companies. So this is definitely one that, like I said, did see this in the theater. This was definitely on repeat and replay quite a bit growing up. I've had this on several formats as well. And this VHS, I think I just picked up recently, actually. But there is that. So that's number 4. Number 5 is from 1990. And Ben and Jagoda, Cal, and 4K just did a rewind on this a few weeks ago. And that is none other than House Party. Another one that was a blind rent back in 1990. Then this definitely went on repeat and replay a lot. Another one with an awesome soundtrack that I had to pick up right away as well. Kid and Play were awesome in this. Martin Lawrence steals, like I said, they talked about in that episode they did. Martin Lawrence stole every scene he was in this movie, but this is definitely one of these had to be in my Rad 9. Alrighty, on to number 6, and this is from 1984. And this is one I did not see in the theater, but this is one, the first time I saw it was on Betamax, because I used to have the Betamax for this, but wish I still did, but not anymore. And this is Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop. And again, another one with an amazing soundtrack that the soundtrack as well as the movie were always on repeat and replay. So there's that. Classic Eddie Murphy, coming off 48 Hours. And yep, definitely. I think this is actually in my top 10 of all time. So another one that was pretty high on my top 10 overall movies of all time, but definitely had to be in my Rad 9 movies that made me. Alrighty, and then we're gonna have a back-to-back here from the 90s. And the first one is, I know this was in Garrett's Rad 9 as well. And this is the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Saw this in the theater. I actually think this may have been the first movie I went to by myself, because this would have came out when I was probably, I'm going to guess, either a sophomore or junior in high school. I think a sophomore probably. So, like I said, first one I saw I'm pretty positive this is the first movie I ever saw in the theater by myself. So, definitely had to be in. Another one that's been constantly rewatched. I bet I've seen this probably 100+ times easily. It's right up there, probably with not near as many times as Top Gun, but probably pretty close to Beverly Hills Cop. As far as how many times I've seen this, so. All right, so there's that one. And then, also from 1990, did not see this one in theaters as well. This was another blind rental back in the day. Well, not really. I mean, I knew what this was. It really wasn't a blind rental, but that was the first time I did see this, was renting at the video store. And that is Warren Beatty and Madonna and a whole awesome, great cast of others in Dick Tracy. Another one, like I said, that has been on, was definitely on repeat a lot during the early to mid 90s, quite a bit. I watched this several times, so that is definitely another one that had to be in my Rad 9. And we're going to finish this up with a movie from 1987. Another kind of a hidden gem, doesn't get talked about a lot. Hopefully sometime this will get a Blu-ray release, because it does not have one yet. And it kind of fits in the same mode as Career Opportunity, so kind of, hopefully maybe Kino someday will be able to get the rights to this and put this out. But this is very early Patrick Dempsey and the late Amanda Peterson, and this is Can't Buy Me Love. Another one I would highly recommend if people out there have not seen this. Like I said, there is not a Blu-ray release for this. You have to get this either on VHS or it's got a DVD release as well. So, All right, guys, that is my Rad 9 movies that made me. Growing up, stuff that I constantly watched over and over again. So, let me know some of your highlights of those picks I went over. Let me know if any of those we're going to make your top 9, your Rad 9. So, all right, guys, as always, you can follow me on all my socials. Let's make it a Blockbuster night over at Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Letterboxd as well. I think those links are all, I got icons for the links on my page here. So, all right, guys, until next time, make it a Blockbuster night.